All right, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising, Jonathan. How goes it?
It's a nice, cold, chilly morning here in Arizona.
Is it?
It actually froze last night.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
well,
That's a strange happening in your area, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It's supposed to be in the 70s here in a few days, though.
Okay. Good.
So
Good.
we'll go from one extreme to the next.
Right?
So, anyways, hey, listen. I don't know if you saw everything on it, but Mike Lindell, he's actually running for governor out there in
Yes.
Minnesota. Um,
Yay.
Going to do our best to get Tim Waltz out of office.
Yes.
And well, that man needs to go.
Big
Just
time. Tampon
everything.
Timmy. Bye bye. See
Yeah,
ya.
tampon Timmy. But you know, I've kind of got a joke I'm making out of it as well. You know,
How so?
elect Mike. You know, and he's going to give tampon Tim a pillow to rest his head on since he's in sleepy land all the time, anyways.
This is true.
So,
This is true.
yeah.
It's true.
So,
Before we go too far, I wanted to bring up this whole thing of him being called Tampon Tim is a real thing that took place in a lot of these cities where they were putting tampons in men's bathrooms. And I literally have a friend who had an issue, a female friend. She was at a restaurant out with girlfriends in a town in Kansas, and out of the just off of a fluke, she jokingly asked a dude to go in and check to see if there were any needs for her in the men's restroom, and the guy came out with a whole container of tampons and maxi pads and
oh
was
wow,
sheepishly like, "I'm so sorry, I don't know why these are here in my bathroom," you know, and and this was at a restaurant. This was at a restaurant in in Kansas. Just
wow,
absolutely mind-blowing. So, it was a real thing. The whole tampon thing is a real thing.
right. Well, talk about tampon Tim. We're going to play a little bit this morning from News Nation, and they
Okay.
were talking about tampon Tim.
Oh, what else?
We'll get
What's
we'll get to
new?
this.
Virginia's looking to do the same. Other states could do it as well, as both political parties try to get some sort of edge ahead of next year's really, really important midterms in 2026.
Yeah, getting more important by the day. Interesting. Ryan, thank you. The Justice Department announcing that a Somali national in Minnesota has now been charged with kidnapping and raping a 15-year-old girl and an adult woman. The DOJ says this happened between 2017 and this year, and in between, Attorney General Pam Bondi says he assaulted at least 3 other women. Minnesota is home to 84,000 Somalis. The majority of them are now American citizens. The latest news from the DOJ on this comes as President Trump sets his sights on this particular group, part of a new immigration crackdown, not just targeting violent crime, but also fraud. The president alleging Minnesota has become a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity.
These Somalians have taken millions of dollars out of our country. They have destroyed Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
All right, here now, former Minnesota Republican Governor Tim Pawlenty. Governor, thank you as always. In your time as governor of the state of Minnesota, what was your experience with the Somali community, the immigrants who have arrived, becoming U.S. citizens, and now hearing allegations of fraud?
Well, in terms of recent events, Marnie, there is a massive amount of fraud that's unfolded in Minnesota. Over 80 people have been charged criminally for that fraud. and the vast majority of them, almost all of them, are in fact Somali. So we don't want to stigmatize any group because they belong to a ethnic group or another group, but we also don't want to excuse illegal behavior or misconduct because they're in that group. And there's been some of that in allegations that certain public officials looked the other way or took the charges in the early days lightly and didn't stop this fraud or get on it earlier. And so the Somali refugees in Minnesota, most of them, as your slide just mentioned, are citizens. And so you can't just deport them, but to the extent some of them are still looking to come here or on green cards or visas and they engage in misconduct, that may be grounds for deportation or having them not come in the first place.
President Trump clearly critical of Governor Walz. What do you make of his handling of these fraud cases over the last few years?
There's no question, Marnie, that the early signals around this fraud were ignored or people looked the other way. And there has been, at the very least, a delay in addressing it. And the administration, the people who are appointed to oversee these agencies, have to be held accountable. There's no doubt that billions of dollars of fraud took place. There's no doubt that the agencies were negligent in how they supervised or checked, or in this case, didn't check for fraud. And nobody was fired. It went on for years, and there's just massive mismanagement with respect to these allegations and charges. And I think ultimately Governor Walz has to be accountable for that.
You talk about one group being stigmatized and certainly have to go after those who have broken the law. How do you reconcile the fear of people in Minnesota, of the Somali community, who say they haven't done anything wrong and they feel unsafe or threatened because of the president's language calling them garbage?
That is a danger of stigmatizing any ethnic group, any racial group, any religious group. And I don't think we want to start having those kinds of words applied to whole groups. We should focus, as Martin Luther King said, not just on the color of a person's skin, but the content of their character. And for those who engaged in misconduct and illegal behavior, the full force of the law should come down on them. But we shouldn't stigmatize whole groups. Minnesota does have an unusual situation in that we have a refugee nonprofit community that's abnormally or unusually active. For example, Lutheran Social Services is one of them. And people ask, well, why are there so many Somalis in Minnesota, a small state? And it's because these refugee nonprofits have been hyperactive in welcoming them or attracting them or recruiting them to.
So, Julie, let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah, let's do.
This is the same kind of operation that they do down in the Tucson sector for the No More Death Camp. Now, these are so-called nonprofit, the churches and stuff that are supplying like the No More Death Camp with humanitarian aid for the cartel guys coming through. Same thing out there in Minnesota. I mean, we've got a lot of people that shouldn't be on American soil that's they're residing in Minnesota as well. And
Right.
I've talked to a lot of different people I know in Minnesota. They said that is a safe haven for these illegals as well.
Oh yes,
And
I
that's
have a friend. I have a friend that she lives up there, and she is just been horrified by what has been happening to her community. And she was very thrilled to hear what President Trump said, that we've got to clean this up, that this just cannot stand. And yeah, it is a huge hot mess up there. They've dropped, what did they, so many people, but then the numbers that they're talking about of fraud when it came to the Somalis that were stating that their child had autism, and so they were getting monies for that. Well, to me, if you, the parent, are going along with accepting money in stating that your child is autistic, and then you turn around and you're sending money to other entities or back home to your home of Somalia, not here, then you got to go. I don't care who you are. I don't care that you built a family here. I don't care that you identify as an American citizen. If you are breaking the rules, you're naturalized. That means that we can pull your citizenship, and you got to go. That's it. Bye-bye. It's ridiculous what they're doing right now to that poor
I
family.
I 100% agree with you. So I want to play something from the other day. Mike Grant, I was going to cover this for him, but at the time I was covering a broadcast for Steve Stern for the election fraud stuff.
Right.
That Mike called me up at the same time, hoping I could share his story. So I'm going to share it here this morning, real quick.
Okay, great.
Almost forgot to do it. Okay, let's see.
That I've been working on here for quite a while, and that is this ice detention.
And we'll start over.
Good morning, Mike Grant, Guns Unlimited Firearms Training out here in Dublin, California. I just want to put something out here that I've been working on here for quite a while, and that is this ICE detention center that they wanted to open up in Dublin here, or they're thinking about opening up. And now this group, Indivisible, has come to city council in Dublin, California, and has just done nothing but stir up crap and scare the shit out of everybody, you know, with their threats and everything like that. What their point is they want you to resist ICE. So in other words, you're breaking the law. And they don't want that detention center, the old woman's prison, opened up so that they can capture these illegals and get them out. Now think about this capture or getting rid of the illegals right now. Look what's going on with this Muslim population across the country. You know, all in the Somalias in Minnesota. I mean, this is out of control, people. Joe Biden left so many people open. And I think you all remember that I was down at the border 9 times in 24. And I seen some tremendous crap down there from Southern California all the way across to basically Tucson, Arizona, Yuma, all the way down. And it's just, to me, I don't understand why we have people that are sitting here that are American citizens that are getting poisoned from fentanyl and all this stuff. And then you add in the part about how many billions of dollars that we spent taking care of people that didn't deserve it. And that was starving you and me and all the veterans and all the homeless. And, you know, then the Democrats then complained that Trump shut the country down and the end of the world was coming and the SNAP payment stopped. Well, do you not think that we had enough money that we gave away to these illegals living in nice apartment buildings and motels and everything across this country for over a year, 2-3 years on our tax dollars? Now it's just out of control. Then you add the drug part into it. You add in the crime, and I don't know if you noticed, but we had the Venezuelan gangs and Chilean gang people were running up the West Coast and they were robbing all the banks. And they were using those RB and whatever they are, ARBs or whatever those houses that they rent. And they were living in those, and they worked their way all the way up the coast. And they would rent for about a week. They'd hit all the banks for 3 days, and they'd go to another area and rent another one, and they just kept going. This was well organized. Then you add in the jewelry thefts that we've had in this country where they're doing the smash and bashes. They're involved in that stuff. And I personally believe that when they hit my range, June of 24, and they stole all kinds of stuff, I believe that was illegal too because they were flying drones around up in there. Now, I'm not going to say it was all illegals, but I guarantee you there's some affiliation in this stuff. So what happened here is they've been coming to the Dublin City Council. That's Dublin, California City Council. And they've been telling them that they want them to write a proclamation banning and declaring ICE out of Dublin, California. This is the same thing that they do in all these areas. And once they get one in, then they go to the next city. So we've got Dublin, Pleasanton, San Ramon, Livermore, Danville. They'll work their way around, and then they get all these people, similar to what they did with this trigger lock stuff, with this the Moms Demand action garbage, with these women that don't know anything.
So I'm going to pause that for a second. So for those of you guys that don't know Mike Grant, he has Guns Unlimited out in Dublin, California. He's a federal firearm instructor, and he's also part of our team. He's been down on the border with me multiple times, and he's probably going to be down in December 18th through the 21st as well. But Mike's been exposing this left and right out there, and right now he has been the only patriot out there that's getting this out there to everybody.
Wow.
Down there in Dublin, California. And kind of like Mike said, he goes, "Where's all the patriots?" I mean, he'll say that here shortly in the video. That you know, he's fed up as well. It's like,
Yeah.
where's the patriots getting involved in this kind of stuff, speaking out?
Yep.
But just want to clarify that with you guys. So
Sure.
Anything about guns at all. So what I'm trying to get out here is I need some help, and I really need help bad here in Dublin, because out of 72,000 people in this town, there was 38 of them that spoke. It would have been on November, I don't know what it was, the 16th or something, the 18th. And here we are, the next council meeting. There was 37 or 38 of them. I was one of those. I was one, and there was 37 or 38 other ones against me. Not one person from Dublin, California was at this council meeting. This is what's happening with our Republican coalition people. They get Trump voted in, and then they go sit on their butts and they get busy and they don't do anything. And then they wake up one day and they go, "Oh, what happened?" Come on, people. It doesn't take you 10 minutes a week, 10 minutes a week to go out and stir up some crap. Catch these city council people and get them for what they're doing to us. Because if you don't start down there, if you watch the Trump, hi Eric, glad you joined. If you watched the Trump deal yesterday, and I don't know if you just came on or whatever, but I want to recap about I'm having problems here in Dublin, California with the city council because this group, the No Kings Indivisible people, are now causing nothing but problems for. So I'm going to recap this for people that are just getting on or whatever. I'm having problems with them because they've gone to the city council and they want them to write a proclamation basically declaring, sorry, the flies are bad. Hello, Eric, again. Thank you for joining. They want to have the city council ban ICE from coming into town, and they also want the city council, in so many words, and indivisible, they want resistance. So the same thing we got going on across the country, where these people are fighting them, that's breaking the law. That's interfering with a lawful thing. If you did that in a police raid in your town, they were, let's just say they were robbing a bank or something like that, and they got the guy and they have him in handcuffs, and a whole bunch of people come out and start interfering with the police, you're all going to jail.
Right.
And if you touch the cop, that's a felony.
yeah,
But they're not doing it. These feds have the authority to do anything over the states. And besides that, sanctuary state, if you read that very closely about the sanctuary cities and states, it was the same thing they're wanting by barring ICE from coming into your communities. That's what the sanctuary state and cities was supposed to do for you. And I have to ask the question, how's that working out for them in Chicago? How's that working out for them in LA? Wherever else they're at. They're all over the country right now. New York. They have no authority over the feds. They can go anywhere they want. And I keep trying to say that to people in this council to stay out of national politics. They don't want to because they're flaming libitards. That's all it boils down to. They're libitards. So I need you to help me with this. And I need people to make phone calls to these council members. They're not full-time. They're part-timers. To their desk, and you leave them a voicemail, please, and you tell them to stay out of national politics, one, and two, you want ICE to remove all illegals from this town. Sorry, these flies and gnats are around out here, and I thought it wouldn't be this way. So, the first person's name is Jean Josie, just like it says, Jean, and then Josie, Josey. Her phone number at her desk is 925-833-6664. The next guy's name, and I'm going to tear this up, guys. He's Muslim, Kashaf Qadri, and the last name is spelled Qaadri. He's another flaming liberal that believes in illegals should be there because who knows if he was illegal. We have no idea if he came in and then he became legal. I don't know. His phone number at his desk is 925 925-833-6661. Again, Gene Josie, 925-833-6664. And this Cadre guy is 925-833-6661. Now, I'm going to give you the mayor's number because I think it's important that she gets some of these calls, even though she doesn't want to be involved in this. She said, no, we don't need this in town. In other words, we shouldn't be getting involved, but she needs to stand up and make a public statement that this is uncalled for. Her name is Sherry Hu. H-U is her last name. 925-833-6665. Please get these out. Sherry Hu, 925-833-6665. That's the mayor. Now, the other number to call, which will really send a signal through the switchboard, is the main City Hall number. And that is 925, this is Dublin, California City Council or City Hall, 925-833-6650. The more, and this also for you people that don't know and you're across the country or whatever, you're going to pass this. This is.
So for all you guys out there in California, I'm asking you guys to help support Mike Grant and what he's doing out there as well. And he needs you guys in this fight with him. And get people to make those phone calls. If you didn't get a chance to write it down, you can watch this recording a little bit later and jot down those phone numbers. I don't have a way to. Actually, let me see if it's on his Facebook for you real quick. I don't see where he added the phone numbers on there. And if he did, I'll add it.
Well, and this is something that we, the people, can be doing. We can be making phone calls. Even if you think that you can't get out, you can make a phone call. Everybody's got a phone. There's no excuse for that.
So kind of like Mike said, though, I mean, it's like Trump gets in office, everybody goes in la la land,
Right.
And you know what? That's exactly the problem that we have right now. By the time people realize what the hell just happened, like out there in Dublin, California, that's why he's trying to get people involved now, because if they carry this out, then everybody, all the patriots out there are going to be throwing their hands up going, what the hell just happened? Just like he just said.
Right. Well, we are.
Because people aren't getting involved. And
right.
This is something we've been discussing the last couple of days straight. We got to get everybody on board. I mean, This isn't a time to be in la la land. This is a time to be in the fight, to get this done and, to keep, we got to get this country red, folks. We have to. I mean, especially California. That's a California, New York. We know what's going on there and all the corruptness.
Well, and what's funny, what's weird is that both those states are likely very much red, but the maps don't prove it because people aren't getting out to vote.
Oh yeah.
And the thought process and the conservative aspect of living their lives, I think, exists there heavily. However, they're not getting out into to the vote, and it's sad.
100% agree, Julie. So I'm going to finish playing this here real quick.
Okay.
This is also Eric Swalwell's district. You remember Eric Swalwell, Fang, the guy that was sleeping with a Chinese spy and all that kind of stuff. So please, he is directing. I guarantee you he's behind most of this because he stood out in front of City Hall not more than a month ago declaring, calling it out that they're coming around with their masks on and they're grabbing people, and we got people living in fear and all these criminals with their masks on. These are cops, guys. They're federal agents, and they're calling them out like that. This is a typical libtard, liberal, democratic way of stirring everything up, and it has nothing to do with the true problems they're talking about. This has to do with Trump. You know this. We've seen it in 2017, 18, 19, and 20 with all the unrest across the country. It's the same thing that goes on. So please, call these numbers. Again, I'm going to say them and I'm going to keep saying them. The city council members in Dublin, California need to be called out big time. because they are trying to get involved in national politics as far as interfering with the ICE people coming to town and not opening up a prison. You know, opening the detention center up, if you want to call it. So hold on a minute. I got to get a drink of coffee so I can keep my eyes open. The first council member that you need to call out, and somebody's dog's out here now.
You know, guys, I just want to say this. You know, well, Mike Grant even talks about his age. Mike Grant, he's 70 years old. You know, this man has got more energy than most people that are in their 20s. I mean, he's out there day and night getting us out to America, try to put up a good fight. But he's the only patriot showing up at these council meetings and stuff.
Amazing.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know, you've got an area that big, and he's the only one out there fighting the good fight. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys are out there anywhere near Dublin, California, get on board with Mike Grant. He's on Facebook. You can pull him up, and he's right there. Well, you see his Facebook page right there. But reach out to Mike Grant. We desperately need to get people involved, and just to try to help make a difference.
Yeah.
And if I got some time, I'm going to be planning a trip out there to help them as well.
Good.
But we got enough going on here in Arizona that we're trying to cover at the same time. But,
Right.
And then the other person I want to talk about real quick, and we'll get back to his videos. We got the gal out there in Montana whose property's been being invaded by the cartel.
Oh,
And
boy.
Mike Grant and I are talking about making a trip out there to help her as well. So any of you guys out there in Montana, if you guys can help do security or whatever for this lady, help watch over her property, reach out to me. I think my phone number should be scrolling across the screen today, but I don't see it right offhand. So
Yep.
my direct number is
Yep.
928-385-4738, or email me at yournewsarizona@gmail.com. We're needing some people that are going to be able to help this lady in a good, positive way. And unfortunately, a lot of our ranchers out in Montana have been being overran by the cartel.
Yeah.
And
That's
law
sad.
enforcement out there is just not doing enough. So,
Yeah.
all right, we're going to finish this up here.
Is Jean Josie. She's a wingnut, boy. I'm telling you right now, if you want to see she works at the school. You know what we have at the school districts teaching these people about pedophile stuff and things like that. 925-833-6664. The other one is another council member, and I don't know if he's a carpetbagger or, he bounces his head on the floor or whatever, is Kashef Kadri, Qaadri. He's Muslim, I've been told. 925-833-6661. These are their office numbers at City Hall. These people are part-time. And then the mayor, Sherry Hu, her last name H-U, 925-833-6665. And the big one is call City Hall. Dial their number up and just call them up, 925-833-6650. What I suggest you do is they'll probably say, where do you live? It's none of their business where you live. Block your phone, caller ID, and call in so they can't say, well, that person lives in Kentucky or that person lives in Nevada, Arizona, or whatever. Just block your phone. It's a real simple process. And remember,
So if you're watching today, Mike Grant, when I'm done with this broadcast, we're going to get this over to yournews.com, and it's going to hit every city in the United States on this as well. And hopefully we can get people from all over the country blowing up their phone numbers for you, buddy. So anyways.
Be good. Yep. That'd be great.
Yep.
this is Eric Swalwell's territory. We all know Eric Swalwell. He was with Fang Fang doing Bang Bang. Remember that? This guy denies he did anything wrong, but I'll guarantee you when he was on the pillow, I'm sure he was whispering things into her ear, because as soon as she got found out, she went back to China.
Almost
Everybody
swallowed
says
my
she's
coffee
dead.
the wrong way.
She ain't dead. That's the same thing that all people put out. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. So, again, we'll start over again. The reason I need your help is these Dublin police, or the Dublin city council is interfering with ICE in Dublin. And they want to interfere, and they're actually telling people to resist, this stuff. I'll get with you a little bit later, Jonathan. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Yvonne, for joining. Chris, thanks for joining. But anyhow, take this also, if you would, for me, people, and push this out on any groups you're on or whatever. Share it to your page. Get it out there, as many people as you can. I need help. So we're all sitting back on our butt right now because Trump got in. And like I said, there was 38 people down at this council meeting last month with me. They were there at public speaking. I was the only one that spoke against this. The rest of them were all from Indivisible, that basically that dark money organization that's run by two former people that their parents worked for Obama. And they're probably getting money also, from those undercover people that they got run around, dark money they call it. I'm not really up on it too much. I got so much stuff going on with the shooting industry. I don't have time to deal with this, but this has really got me mad because they're saying that they're living in fear. So last night I was at council and I got up, and you can only imagine what I say. I told them, I said, I'm not living in fear. Are you? After I announced that Mike grant Guns Unlimited firearms training, I'm not living in fear. But those people have got everybody scared to everything across the city, that we got people that are staying in their houses. They're scared. They can't come up. Ooh, all this crap. You know what? Why are you scared? Are you illegal? Do you know where illegals are at? So these are codes that you need to look up, title codes from the United States government. And all of them are Title 8 USC. 1324 is harboring illegals, basically hiding them. That is a felony. 1325 is the first time you come across the border. There's a guy on here by the name of Johnathon Alexander with me. I'll start over. Jonathan Townsend Alexander. And I spent time with him at the border. And he's seen some stuff even before I got down there. So he knows what we're talking about with the illegal entry. They'd come around, they'd stick them on I called it the happy bus, and they'd take them over to the processing plant over there and kick them out a couple days later, anywhere they wanted to go in the United States. Credit card, telephones, you name it. They were doing it out of Yuma. They were doing it out of Tucson. Yeah. The last one is, remember, that was 1325.
So Mike got to witness all that for himself.
Re-entry to the country. That is a felony, and that's the one that gets you barred from life from coming in. If they're not deporting, that's a whole other story. So back to what is going on here. They're trying Indivisible, which is this group that runs around with the No Kings hat, the ones that were running around here doing these big protests that all got locked up, or they actually got some of them from the old folks home, got misdirected, and they were at the drive-up window at Burger King. That's a joke. But anyhow, I just need some help out here in Dublin to call these council people up and just ring their phone off the hook. Leave multiple messages. But take your phone, like I said, go into your settings, find your phone, and you just basically block it, whatever they call blocking, call blocking, or whatever. Block your number so they can't see it. They won't know where you're calling from. Just load their phones up. So I'll do it again. Jean Josie, she's a wingnut. 925-833-6664. Again, 833-6664. All these prefixes I'm going to give you are 925. Another one is Kashaf Qadri. He's a Muslim. 925-833-6661. Isn't that amazing? We have a Muslim on our city council, and he's against any kind of deportations. Crazy, ain't it? Then we have Sherry Hu, H-U, her last name, 925-833. I got my cats here looking at the window at me. They're interested in the broadcast, I guess. 925-833-6650. And then Eric Swalwell. I don't have his office, but this is his district, guys. This is why we're having these problems, is because of that clown, Mr. Fang Fang Bang Bang. He is the problem. He was on this council in 2012 before he got elected in 2013, took the seat in 2013. So all this just adds right up. We have flaming libertards all over this area. Title 8, again, USC's 13, 24, 25, and 26. Those are important to look up, research them, read a little bit about them. Spread that out to everybody. And another number that's very important is call ICE on their 866 number. So that's 866 347 2423. Again, 866 347 2423. That is ICE's hotline. Call them. Ask them about the Home Depots in Pleasanton, wherever there's a Home Depot at in your area. I guarantee you there are illegals there. They're standing around. We have to help Trump get them out of the country. They've already said that we're not going to get any support. Yesterday, they made it clear on the press conference that Trump was having. They're not going to get any help out of Congress doing anything. It's going to take us down at these lower levels, down here where these mayors are at, and these city councils. We got to squash this stuff. Your school districts, all that kind of stuff, where they're brainwashing these kids. That's what's happening here. We got to start over. It's funny how Charlie Kirk got killed here, September, and everything was just fired up big time. Now we're back down again. The typical slope. It's in the news, we're hot, and then all of a sudden everybody goes back to sleep. We can't go to sleep on this. Now there's, like I said, Jonathan Townsend Alexander's got a website out there, and I'm going to screw it up. I think it's livebordernews.com, but he's out there, guys, and he is trying to broadcast this stuff out too to get off.
That's
the couch.
yournewsarizona.com
now,
guys.
with your thumb in the wrong spot.
Right.
And don't post that on the internet about the thumb. I had one and I got kicked off for a while. So anyhow, it's getting to the point where it's going to get crazy, and yet they sit there and tell everybody that they're concerned about the safety. That's what the council members are telling me. Safety of what? Tell me,
Right.
what safety are you concerned of? Are you illegal? You should be concerned about your safety. And this,
Yeah, so for those of you guys that were on my website a lot under the livebordernews.com, I kind of failed to update everybody on that matter. Live Border News is now officially Your News Arizona, even though we're doing the Live Border News coverage, that we're covering more than just the border news now. So just want to make sure that's clear.
and this is how stupid this is. I kind of put this into perspective of this. They say that ICE is endangering their families. So you take your family and you load them in the station wagon and you decide you're going to go rob the Wells Fargo Bank with your family in the car. And you come out and get in the car, and then there's a hot pursuit. And they're shooting at your car, trying to spin you around and everything and stuff like that. Are the police endangering you? Or was it you that endangered your family? That's what these illegal people are doing. They're endangering their families, and then they all cry the blue how we're separating the families.
Right.
You endangered your family. You came in this country illegally. You've been told to deport and get your ass out of here, and it's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, you see all this stuff that's going on right now on the news. I know a lot of people get kind of burnt out, but think about that on the news. The drug boat stuff and how the end of the world's coming. Now, I know these news agencies have nothing else to talk about right now, and it just keeps going around. But think about that. We're trying to protect Americans from dying of fentanyl that's coming in, and you're telling me that you're not against that? Thanks for joining, Carol. Appreciate it. And I'm trying to pass this out, Carol, to everybody. Anybody that gets on, I need help in Dublin, California in the worst way. I've got a whole bunch of these indivisible AARP members.
And I need your guys' help today to share this out there, share our broadcast, get this out there everywhere. We need to get Mike Grant some help. He desperately needs it down there in Dublin, California. And sitting back in La La Land isn't getting the job done, folks.
Right.
Running around trying to get this council to do a proclamation, they call them, to block ICE from coming to town, which we all know is not going to happen. I told the cops last night at the council, I told everybody last night that the ICE people will show up in town and they'll tell the cops, get a donut and go get some coffee. You're off the duty. And that's the truth. The cops can't do anything to the ICE people at all. So I need people to share this video, get it out, get it all over the place, please. Because I got some phone numbers that I want to pass out. I'm going to keep repeating these phone numbers. I should probably have a crib sheet made up, but I don't. And I'm not as good as Jonathan is. of having stuff go across the bottom of the screen. He's a pro. I'm an amateur. Gene Josie, 925-833-6664, council member. Kadre Kashef Kadre, a Muslim that we have on the council here in Dublin. 925-833.
Anyways, I think you guys kind of get the
6661.
dire point here of what Mike is making. We desperately need to get him some help out there in Dublin, California. And again, to all you California people out there that are patriots or whatever, where the heck are you guys? You know,
Yeah.
this is a question Mike keeps asking as well. Where are you guys?
You know, another thing too makes me think that we should be, at the very least, patriots need to be going to their own cities and attending their own city council to find out what's going on in your area. I mean, what if these guys are doing city council meetings everywhere at the same time right now and trying to push ICE out? Do you know that? Do we even know that in our own communities? You know, nowadays they have it so that you can even dial in. You don't even have to appear physically. We prefer you do for your city council meetings, but you can dial in to find out what's going on in your own city council. You know, and I encourage people to do that. I think it's really important that, you know, we've got to stay abreast of this situation, on top of the deal, and yeah.
And I also encourage that you guys, when you do attend these city council meetings, for those of you guys that aren't shy about it, sign up to speak.
Yes.
A lot
Always.
of these meetings are public meetings where you're actually allowed to speak at. And
You're
it's
allowed to
unlike-
speak. It just cracks me up that everybody get, you know, you get 2 minutes or you get 3 minutes. And, you know, oftentimes you've got these folks that have, there's can be a lot more time that needs to take place for back and forth when it comes to a real conversation. But at least get up there. And even if your voice shakes, it's okay, folks. It's okay. Our voice
Well,
shakes
trust
too.
me, Julie, I can
Okay.
say plenty in 2 minutes.
Right?
Yep.
A lot can be done, but let's
Oh,
just
yeah, a
get up
lot
there
can
and
be
get out
done.
there. Yep.
So, boy, there was another breaking news story. I was trying to find it here, and I had it saved for today, and I can't locate it in my file now.
Oh,
Don't figure, right?
go figure.
Well, actually, I think I pushed it aside so I could cover Mike Grant today. That's right.
Yeah.
So it's in a different folder. But to me, that's a very important story right there, folks. Mike Grant desperately needs your help out there in Dublin, California. Again, you can call me directly, and I can get you in touch with Mike, or you can go on to Mike Grant's Facebook page, and it's right there on the broadcast under Mike Grant. And reach out to Mike. And please, guys, get involved. This is what we need right now to save this country.
Yes.
You know, same thing out here in Arizona. We need more people to be speaking out. Get involved. You know, when they're doing these No Kings events and stuff, talking all their smack and all the crap in the book.
Yeah, they're totally paid. Those are fully paid events. If people haven't figured that out yet, y'all need to wake the hell up, because they're fully paid. Bought and paid.
For all you guys out here in Kingman, Arizona, where in the hell are you guys at these No King events? You know, we ought to have the Patriots on the other side of the road right there, lined up with the American flags, Trump flags. I mean, just line it up and let them know that, you know what, we support our president.
Absolutely.
And you know, if Donald Trump was a king, I would have been honored to call him a king.
Yeah, but if he was a king, he would have said, "Don't do these stupid things that you're doing," and he would have shut it down. So obviously, he's not a king. Ridiculous.
And you know, again, for all you guys out there beating up on Donald Trump lately, you know, keep in mind he's been in office 11 and a half months. When has Donald Trump done us wrong?
Right.
You know, you guys be patient. And I can tell you right now, this time next year, you're going to be thankful he's our president. I promise you. I know a lot of things that are in the works, and a lot of things Donald Trump's not going to talk to you about. He's just going to get it done. And once you see it's done, you're going to go, wow, Now that's the president I elected. Um, so
Yep.
I've
But
just
that
been hearing
doesn't
so
mean,
much trash talk.
yes, and so I have two, and it saddens me very much because the man that we hired for the job is doing the job, and you guys that are sitting on your asses not doing a flipping thing, I think that you have the authority to be able to criticize him. Get up and get moving. Sorry, but doesn't fly in my book if
Yeah,
you're just going to sit around and point a finger. Anytime anybody points a finger, you got three of them pointing back at yourself. So, you can't be pointing and saying you're guilty of this when you're
yeah,
guilty three times over, right? So, I think that's a lot of what's happening,
yeah,
unfortunately, within the community, within the patriot community. I see where people are dividing and, oh, I don't listen to them, or oh, or they lied about this, or look,
yeah.
folks, we're just doing the best that we can, but at the same time, we don't need the division. We don't need the division within our own flipping community. We need to
Yeah.
stand together, stand behind President Trump, but also do our parts. We're all the worker bees. We're all the worker ants, right? We need to take our little our smaller communities, and be active and engaged in that arena. So, yeah, that's my soapbox, and I'm going to stand on that today.
Yeah. Julie, I'm just going to point this out to him as well today. As you guys are all pointing fingers and everything, talking a bunch of smack talk, I want you to ask yourself one question. What are you doing? What have you done to help make a difference?
Mhm.
I mean, are you with me and my team down on the borders? Are you out there working with Mike Grant with what he's doing? Are you out there trying to, in- you know, get people to vote red? Are you what are you guys doing besides just a lot of smack talk? You know,
Yeah.
we all can sit behind a keyboard and talk all day long if we want,
Right. Right.
but
Exactly.
being boots on the ground, that's a whole different ballpark.
Whole
And
different ball game.
and like I
Absolutely.
said, if Mike Grant at 70 years old, he's out day and night getting this out, working his butt up,
Yeah.
out in the field, giving people firearm instructions out there at 70 years old. My
Wow.
hat's off to you, Mike Grant. You know,
Huge.
I hope
Huge.
if I live to be that long, I'm going to be right there with you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes. And yes, you will be.
yeah, but this is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And and I realize a lot of people right now are afraid to speak out because they feel like they're going to be targeted. I've talked to a lot of different people, like even around Kingman, Arizona. A lot of people told me the same things. Well, we're just afraid if we're going to speak out, we are going to be attacked. And it's like, you know what? If you're going to
We've
live your,
already gone through this, people.
yeah,
We've already been attacked. You have already been attacked, and your rights have been already taken away from. So, how much longer are you going to sit on the sidelines and not do anything?
yeah.
Come
And
on.
if you're going to live your life in fear, what kind of life is that, anyways?
Yeah, that's it. No.
I'd rather be, I'd rather be standing on my feet fighting than to be
Yep.
sitting there living under some dictatorship bullshit
Same.
laws.
Same.
And I'll tell you right now, folks, if we don't get this country in order and get it to stay red, I guarantee you the Democrats this next time, because right now they're fuming. They're fuming with Donald Trump going after all these people that were corrupt. And I guarantee you they're going to go after us next. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys better keep that in mind. This is why it's important to stay on the mission. It's important to keep the right people in office, and we've got to work our butts off to make sure this damn well happens.
Yeah.
And if you want to surrender and not do a damn thing about it, that's on you,
Yep.
not me.
Yep.
So,
Agreed.
well,
Agreed.
yeah. Well, guys, I think today is Friday.
It is.
Yep. So
Yay.
I'm actually gonna be working all weekend as usual.
Well, I've been in training all week with the VA, and so I myself am probably going to be working myself. So I comprehend fully. Yep,
Yeah.
got to make up for wherever we can, right? So,
Hell yeah.
um, Yeah, I'm excited that we're here. I was really, really thrilled to sit in the other night, Jonathan, with the Q Broadcasting people, and that has just been beautiful. So, folks, Jonathan now he's got this amazing station on Q Broadcasting, which stands for Communication Unites Everyone. CUE. Communication Unites Everyone. And I have to say, I am just so proud of the people that created this Q broadcast platform, because it is Patriot owned and operated. It is putting the cable guys to shame for what they have been charging, right? A couple $100 a month. I don't pay for TV normally, so I've been clueless. I had no idea people were paying a couple $100 a month just to be able to watch their sports channels and stuff, right? So to learn about Q's platform and the number of sports arenas and shows and what is it? How many shows does
Yeah, you get
13
over you get over
1,300.
1,300 channels on there, and
Yeah.
that includes all of your HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, Encore, pay per views, all your
Wow.
NFL package. I mean, basketball package, baseball. I mean, you
Yeah.
name it, you guys got it. For you bar owners out there, this is perfect for you guys
I
because for every
know.
subscription, you get 5 TVs, folks. Five.
Yeah.
So with 5 TVs, if you own a bar, you could have 5 TVs right all around your bar. For right now, they're still doing the special. By the way, Julie, it's
Oh,
still
they
50.
extended it.
So
Okay.
they extended it for 4 more days for
Okay.
$59.99 a month. You
Oh,
get unlimited television. I'm going to share right here real quick their link. If you guys want to
yeah.
check it out, you can sign up with Q Broadcast for unlimited television. It's right
Yeah.
there in the upper
Yeah.
left hand corner. Scan that code. If they don't do a monthly contract, you guys can sign up. If you don't like it in 30 days, just cancel.
Cancel it. Yep.
But beyond
It's
that, you're not
amazing.
going to
I
regret it. You're
Yep.
not going to regret it.
No,
This is what we've
I
been watching all this on is Q
yep.
Broadcast, by the way.
I've
Um,
been I've been watching some things. I'm like, holy cow, I can't believe all of this for $60 a month. That's
yeah.
just insane. So yeah, guys, check
Oh,
it out.
I
It's
forgot to
really good.
mention, you guys will need this little device right here with it. That's called an own device for your television. It's about $29 one time investment. $29 over at Walmart, and somebody said they were on sale for 1997, I think it was.
Huh.
But anyways, and then once you have the own device to give you your remote, you download the Cube broadcast right on your television, right on the own device, and then you operate this just like that. And we go right over to the TV guide. Well, that's my favorites right now. So, and I'm creating my own TV channel here, by the way, Julie. So right now I've got
Yes,
Fox News, News Nation, OWN, and soon to be Your News Arizona right here.
that'll be great.
um,
That'll be great.
right, and then right here, if you just come over here, that's my favorites. There's my TV guide, and I can check out my TV guide.
Canada's Prime Minister and Mexico's
So let
president.
me ask you
First
this:
the
when
USA.
you mentioned that for the bar owners that they could be watching on 5 different screens,
Yep.
it's actually not the same game, right? They can have like 5 different games
Oh
that they
yeah.
can
So
be watching.
so
So
with the
it's not
NFL
just like
lineup,
a satellite. It's
yeah,
not a satellite where it's just got you're stuck with their one
yeah.
pay-per-view. You get all the other ones, right? That's so
So
cool.
all the games going on that day at that hour. Say there's a bunch of games going on at 10 a.m. So
Yeah,
you can play one game on this TV, another game on this one over
that's
here,
amazing.
vice, and just until you reach your 5 TVs.
That's
This
amazing.
is perfect. This is perfect for bar owners, or for you guys that
Yeah,
have your man caves out there that like to have your home TV, your office TV, and then the man cave TV. There
right.
you go. You guys had tons and tons of movie channels, music channels. I mean, you name it, it's on there.
It's
Uh,
on there.
Not to
Yes.
mention all the Patriot Live broadcasting channels like OWN, um, Alex Jones, Your News Arizona. We're all going to be on here. When you sign up, you'll see us all on there in the channel lineup. Uh, on
Yep.
top of all your regular local channels as well. So you get your local news channels. Um, I mean, it's great, Julie.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I love it. I'm loving
what
it. Yeah.
what David Waddell has done. He's the owner of Q Broadcast. What this man's done in 3 years, he's going to sink these satellite companies and these cable TV companies.
Love it.
No, I mean, and by the way, folks, I think we failed to mention this, Julie. If you sign up right now for the $59.99 a month, what Dave is offering for the new subscribers for the next 4 days is you're going to be locked into that price for life. It's
Oh,
never going
wow.
to
Yeah.
increase.
Wow.
After the 4 days goes by, and he's just doing this because the promotion's been going so well, getting so many people on. He
Mhm.
said, "Well, let's run it for 4 more days. This special,
Okay.
um,
Cool.
and this also makes the perfect Christmas gift for your family, and loved ones, folks. If you got
Yes.
children out there that can't afford television across the country,
Yep.
just give them your login code. Let them log in and log their home TV into it, or charge them $20 a month if you want to do that
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah. That's smart.
Or
I love it.
or you could buy their first month subscription for them, and then after the
Uh-huh.
first month, say you're going to be on your own after that. Try it out for 30 days. If you love it, keep it.
Right.
Perfect Christmas gift.
Yep.
Um,
Perfect. Yep.
expect, so, anyways,
Awesome.
can't applaud these guys enough. That's all I can
Oh,
say.
huge. Yeah. Huge kudos. They have created something beautiful that and
Good.
functional. I mean, it serves a huge purpose of a being able to get the real stuff because it is set up by a patriot, but
Yeah.
B, saving a whole lot of money. I
Yep.
mean, tons of money. And anytime we
Yep.
can take money away from the big corporate dudes, it's a good day in my book.
Yep. Yep. Not to mention, I pretty well focus on shopping Patriot-owned companies only. That's what I try to
Same.
focus at. I
Right.
even banned Starbucks. I mean, I don't have
Oh, me
coffee at
too.
Starbucks.
I,
There's
I
no
got
way.
another I got another name for them, but we're not supposed
But
to say it on the
but
channel.
but
So
the best coffee out there in the country, though, folks, is Loaded Gun Coffee out of Lake Havasu, Arizona. Loaded Gun Coffee actually. I'll put that at the bottom of the
there
screen
you
for
go.
you.
Yeah, there you go.
This is a 100% Patriot owned, veteran owned company.
Love
And
it.
Stephen Thomas, they're making iced coffee now that they've got their brewery up and going for
Hmm.
all this. And we're going to
Yep.
be doing a broadcast from Lake Havasu, Arizona. I think it's coming up in 3 days. I'm going to do this for
Okay,
Steve.
great.
And he's going to walk you through how they do the brewing process, the whole 9 yards. Outstanding veteran. He's been down there. He's part of my security team as well on the border.
Right, right.
So you guys definitely support him, but at the same time, every purchase made through Loaded Gun Coffee, Stephen Thomas donates a small portion over to Your News Arizona. And all you have to do is enter in the reference code right there, Your News JTA, I believe is what it is.
Your
Your
news AZ
News AZ JTA.
JTA. Yep.
Put that when you order. And they've got a great store lineup as well. If you scan the QR code, it's not just coffee. He's got a bunch of patriotic stuff, hats, shirts. I mean, you name it, they sell it all. So
Cool.
you guys
Cool.
check out Loaded Gun Coffee as well. And definitely check out Q Broadcast for your television needs. You
Hmm.
guys aren't going to regret it.
Yep.
And David
Yep.
Waddell,
For
if you're
sure.
out
Not
there
going to
today
regret it. It's
watching our broadcast this afternoon, God bless you, sir. Love what you've done with Q Broadcast. Because I'm going to just say one
yes,
last thing
sir.
before we end this, Julie. When I first got on with Q Broadcast for the first probably 6 months, I was just kind of like, not really for me. It's not as good quality as cable or satellite, and I'm just being honest about it. I mean, sometimes the screen would freeze up on me and all this stuff. And then they got all this technology in, all these big towers in that they put in, like out in Vegas to cover this part of the country. This is
Okay.
this is better than watching cable or satellite now, and the picture quality is amazing. I mean, you want to talk about high
Fabulous.
definition pictures? This is awesome watching this
Yeah.
TV. So, anything else you would like to add today,
Love it.
Julie?
No, just everyone have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And we're going to be back Monday and we'll have a full show for you then.
Yep. So we'll be live Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. You guys
Yep.
come on, join on in, and definitely get on Q Broadcast, and you can start watching us right on live TV as well. We're going to own that
Absolutely.
station 24 hours a day, and we're
Love
going to
it.
have lots of different Patriot stuff on there as well on our channel. So
Yep.
I hope you guys can tune into Your News Arizona on Q Broadcast.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Yay.
God bless all of you guys. We're going to see you live again Monday. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.